Hi there, just popping in to do a quick little video. Sorry for a lapse between videos. I don't really have an excuse. It just hasn't been a priority. Life has been rather crazy, as I've mentioned before, and I'm still just adjusting and learning how to schedule my time and do all the things and get where I need to be, and it's been challenging. It's been a bit of a it's been an adjustment, and I was going through verses today and looking for a verse just because it's been on my mind. I want to do a video. It's kind of been in the back and I've been thinking about it, and we're also fairly close to 6 months since I did my first video. I'll have to go back and look at it. Certainly we're in Houston, it's getting a little cooler, so I've got my scarf and my sweater on today. But one of the biggest changes in my life has been that my son is now in middle school, and we opted for a school that's not in our neighborhood. It's not even in the district we live in. So I have to drive my son to and from school every day. And depending on the route we take, it's anywhere from, it can be a very quick 20-minute drive if I take the toll road, or if I take the side streets, it's anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes. So my son and I have started listening to audiobooks, and we have covered a handful of audiobooks in the school year. He's in 6th grade in the state of Texas. Social studies in the 6th grade is world cultures. So we are, sorry, there's a phone call coming in. I'm just going to send that to voicemail. So we've tried to be a little more global or look at different cultures in the books that we've been reading. And just in conversation, Patrick came up to me and said, hey, I want to learn more about Gandhi. Can we listen to a book about Gandhi? So we started a book. I think we started it, I know it's this week. So today's Wednesday. So we either started the book on Monday or Tuesday yesterday. And the book I found is called The Salt Thief by Neal Bascomb. And maybe you know this book, maybe you know Gandhi, maybe you've got more awareness than I do. I'd never heard of the book. I just did a quick little Google search, what's a good young adult appropriate book about Gandhi, and came up with The Salt Thief. So, and yes, I am. So, by the way, forget to do the little introduction. This is Rebecca Stark, and yes, this is one of my Do Not Fear videos in which I try to find Bible verses that are related to our suggesting do not fear. So the Bible says do not fear a good number of times. I don't know exactly how many times, but it's certainly been my effort in these last 6 months with these videos I'm making of trying to share all the Bible verses I can find that say do not fear. So I am listening to this story with my son that's called The Salt Thief, and very interesting. I didn't know this. I don't know your knowledge and your background, your understanding of India. So I'm an American. We live in the United States. We know our U.S. history fairly well, and we know that when we declared independence from Great Britain, the big commodity was tea, right? The Tea Party. And that was the challenge, was we were being taxed without representation, and we were being taxed especially on tea, and tea is just a big thing. It's a big deal, right? So we know about our Tea Party. I did not know the importance of salt in the role of India's independence from Great Britain. And I'm just getting into this, so I can't tell you the whole story, but I did hear today that Gandhi was starting to outline his plan of, so the British were taxing Indians on salt. And if you know anything about India, it's absurd. It's absurd that you would have to pay tax on something that's so readily available. I mean, India, it's not an island, but it is surrounded on three sides substantially with water and salt water, and you know that you could extract salt out of salt water. So it's kind of easy to get salt if you're in India. So the idea of being taxed on something you can find easily, kind of absurd. So stay tuned, I'm learning more about this, but I just thought it was very interesting. So there's my background. My son and I are listening to this story called The Salt Thief, and it's by Neal Bascomb. So then I sit down today after I run my son down to school and come back, and I do my Bible verses. And the verse that pops up is Mark 9:50. So if you know the Bible, maybe you already know what I'm saying, but this is the verse that I get in my Bible verse review this morning. Salt is good. Like, oh wow, okay, we're listening to a story of salt, and now the Bible actually talks about salt. So this is Jesus speaking, and Jesus is saying salt is good, but if it loses its salty taste, you can't make it good again. So don't lose that good quality of salt you have, and live in peace with each other. So this one maybe is a little stretch. I stretch sometimes. It does happen. This might be a little stretch in being do not fear, but and live in peace with each other. That to me comes across as very much of a do not fear. Hey, live in peace. If you're living in peace, you're not living in fear. So that's just where I'm, forgive my reach, but that's what I'm reaching with. So I just thought that was so funny and so very interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. So there's a verse, take it or leave it. It may not fit your criteria of a do not fear verse, but to me, I think it works. It's going to work for me right now. Salt is good, but if it loses its salty taste, you can't make it good again. Yeah. So don't lose that good quality of salt you have, and live in peace with each other. That's from Mark 9, verse 50. I hope that blesses you. I hope it brings you peace. It brings you a little bit of assurance. If you've got a little time on your hand and you want to read a book, maybe pick up The Salt Thief by Neal Bascomb. And if not, I might share a little bit more about what I'm learning as we come along. But thank you so much for popping in and joining me, and I hope you have a blessed day. Take care.